Okay, there we go.
And then I think the last thing that I want to do, just because they're narcos, is have some techies roll in. So for that one, I'm going to use this trigger here, and we are just going to do in the same folder, since I'm going to use the same trigger. And for this one, I am going to do a no player nearby trigger, just so that, like, if a player happens to wander down here and hang out at the gas station during this fight, a truck won't spawn directly on top of them. It will spawn as soon as they're gone. So, like, if the helicopter is just like swinging overhead, it won't spawn while the helicopter is there. I don't particularly care if the helicopter sees it spawn from way away. That's fine. I'm going to do a original unit position for this one because I want it to spawn in the right spot precisely. Let's see what kind of cars we have for these guys. Looks like they're mostly UAS is. I don't particularly like any of these either for our guys, so I'm going to look for someone who I know has stuff that I do want. Just going to, boom, PK Techie. Central African rebels fit in pretty much anywhere too, they're just some dudes in paramilitary gear. And then for vehicles, you need to sync it to the vehicle, and you also need to sync it to someone in the crew. All right, boom. So when this trigger goes off, in addition to those guys swarming out of the base, a techie will spawn. It'll roll up to this position that I've decided will probably be a decent position to fire on people. So hopefully what happens is the players will be in the middle of an engagement on the outside of the base, and a techie will roll up to here and start unloading on people with a PK. Yeah. Let's double check to make sure that those last additions to this work, and then this objective will be done from a enemy standpoint, unless there's some. I'm going to look at this real quick and see if there's any fortifications I want to add, but I don't really think I do. This one has decent fortifications to begin with, since it's an old military base. I don't think it needs to be like super fortified. So we'll go through and decorate it, but for as far as enemies go, this should be good. So let's just test those last two things that I just added.
Report position.
Why aren't you guys spawning? Problematic. So he worked. Everything else is working. These guys are swarming out. Should be a nice moving target for our helicopter to intercept. Space is a fucking beehive.
I think they're more like hornets, but
Okay. So I just need to go look at that trigger and make sure. All right, let's see. Our action point is connected to a trigger. Our portals are connected to people. So that leaves a problem with the trigger, which makes sense. What did I fuck up? That help? This is the bad part about ARMA scripting.
So you try doing the the double pipe.
Yeah, I'll do that next if this.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the scripting reference myself too. It's like I do this in real life or something.
What's your position?
Why won't you just work? Okay, so it's definitely the trigger. Oh, I know what's going on. Or at least I think I do. Let me double check. Yes, okay. I figured out what's going on. So, remember that the trigger that I used is the trigger that unfreezes the guys, and that one has a check of 5 seconds. I was just being impatient, teleporting myself away for safety. So, when I did a Terminator, teleported in with my guys so that they could keep me alive for 5 seconds, it worked. So there's nothing wrong with the scripting. Yay. All right, and then as far as decoration goes here, like, I'm just gonna put in some like distribution trucks. Put in an SPG-9 techie so that they know to beware.
Do you want to say what hotkey you're using to place those vehicles down with no crew?
Oh yeah. So if you hold Alt while you're placing vehicles, this says place vehicles with crew. It will do it with the opposite of whichever one you have selected.
I learned something.
We'll just put
Me
a
too.
Hilux there. And then there's always the question of whether or not you want players to be able to get into enemy trucks and shit.
I
think for this one, I'm gonna give the players trucks, just because giving TCS trucks makes them worse.
It's very, very true. We are awful when we have to deal with vehicles as well as ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to leave these trucks unlocked. I'm going to give them like 4 trucks to start with, and they're not going to respawn. So looting enemy techies might be a way to keep themselves rolling, or at least like stealing the wheels off them, whatever. And then that should be good for this objective. And then so we need something to act as our supply of stuff. And this stuff right here is actually perfect. So I'm just going to delete these and then replace them with objects that they can destroy. So we're going to go with hide terrain objects here. You can change what you are hiding by going in here. So you have buildings, walls and fences, vegetation, and other. Other is what we wanted to delete because I wanted to get rid of these pallets and replace them with my own pallets.
You have to do the operate locally checkbox.
Only if you are doing a lot. God fucking damn the fucking
Yeah.
enter button.
So what Pliskin was about to say is you only have to do that if you're doing a bunch of hides. If you're not, then it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a drain on the server.
Also, hide locally doesn't work if you're like, say, hiding cover. Because it'll glitch out and hide on some people and not hide on others, or like it doesn't hide on the server. So I did that with my Gotish Operation Gotish Lenga. And so the cars in downtown not Mogadishu were local to everyone. So some people saw AI hiding behind cars. Some people saw AI shooting through cars. It was not a good time. So be careful with local shit.
Oops.
I maintain that was a perfect mission, and no notes.
You have to look for IDOP actually. Those are IDOP crates.
No enter that time.
There is a optional that you can use that will disable enter, bringing you into the mission.
It's cargo net. You missed it.
Okay, so this is perfect. We'll say that they are hiding drug shipments in IDAP aid.
Could also be like me where I made the drugs or bananas. Meth infused bananas actually.
Yeah.
Could have sworn I tried that. Okay, so if you use Alt-N or go to Tools, Utilities, and Name Objects, you can batch name objects. So I'm going to create a task really quick. Zapper says this works. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm going to try it. All right. So I'm just going to place this on the base. For the position, you can do it on the module. You can also sync it to an object. So this creates our task. It'll create automatically because we have not created a trigger for it. Then the next thing that we need to do is create a set task state. And then we're going to need a trigger for that. So we're going to leave activation at none. So then all that that's going to do is activate on the scripting that I'm going to do. So we have not alive. God fucking damn it. We have not alive drugs 0 and is the operator for and when you want it to be conditional and not actually don't know what just and does, but this is the conditional and. So not alive drugs 0 and not alive drugs 1 and not alive drugs 2 and not alive drugs 3. I feel like a fucking TikToker saying not alive. So once all of those drugs have been unalived, this trigger should work and change the task state. So let's hop in real quick and test that.
Did we name the drug crates?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why do we not have the task? I have fucked something up here.
Is there a task ID?
There is. We're not going to have multiple sides of playable units, so I'm just going to do all playable units. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do here. You can use parent tasks to create like subtasks. So like if the overall task was destroy the drug shipments and I wanted to have multiple places full of drug shipments, I could use a parent task with subtasks to do that. There we go. Destroy the drugs, locate. It's there. If you want to assign it to yourself, you can. We're going to make sure that it works in the most violent possible way.
I'm just going to select all of them, just press end.
How did that... Wow, that's impressive that that didn't do anything.
You dropped a daisy cutter on it.
Those are some sturdy fucking drugs.
Most sturdy drugs the Colombians have ever developed.
There we go. So it does work. Cool.
Wait, it's cooking off.
Well, there was the there's the truck over here with the
yeah, that's feasible.
bug on it. Actually, so I'm not going to lock most of the trucks. In fact, I'm not even going to lock this one. I am going to reduce its ammo and give it no fuel.
That's just mean.
I know.
No,
Right.
I started locking all of my vehicles because people kept going into space, and it's kind of dumb. So just like not let them do it anymore.
And then because we're gonna have guys over here, I'm also gonna like just put some lookouts. So like, let's say they decide to have the helicopter do some recon for them. I want to reward stuff like that. So we're gonna put some guys over here. You should remember who we're using. You're supposed to remember. It may. I think it might not remember after you go into the mission.
A Tenali. So for the ZEI, garrison stuff, that doesn't really tax much on the server since they're like kind of like initially spawned, kind of thing.
No, if you're using a lot of these guys, you will want to do dynamic simulation with them, because they will. They're units like anything else. The big thing to remember with Arma is that, like Zapper was saying in the op tonight when he was looking at the way that Rival was spawning things, AI in Arma are squad based. So 4 guys who are each placed individually are more of a tax on the server than one fire team, or I should say squad, because Arma doesn't make a distinction between the two, between one squad or 4 guys that are in one squad. It's not like exactly 1-to-1. 4 guys, 4 single guys who are not or who are synced up are not like the same. What am I trying to say? It's not 1-to-1. If you have like 2 squads of 20 guys, that's more of a strain than say like 4 squads of 1 guy apiece. But like, it is basically the more squads that you have down, the more taxing it is. So what I'm doing here that's going to help maintain things is, even though these guys are going to be spread out over the base, like they're all just taking high positions on rooftops to shoot from, they're going to be one squad together, because since I've disabled pathing, they're not going to like try to join up on each other until players try to assault the base, which I don't envision happening. I don't envision these guys surviving to that. Probably what will happen is the players will see them from far away and kill them all, or the helicopter will get to run up on them. And there we go. Nice, nice, easy first objective. And by easy, I mean it's a fucking hornet's nest. All right. So then the players are going to have to continue down this road. This looks like a good place to do something next. It's a nice, good choke point. I guess you could avoid it by going through here. So we're going to have to tell them what we want them to do here. And what we want them to do here might just be to like assault or actually no, this is supposed to be you guys designing a mission. What do we want them to do next after they've destroyed the drugs?
If we're moving on to the next town, maybe like high value targets, like specific people they need to eliminate.
Okay.
Like their lower level like distributors that like ship the drugs overseas, maybe something like that.
Okay. This could be a processing plant. So yeah, this will be like their warehouse processing plant. And they've got a little military complex for it. Cool. And there's even like a nice little plantation house for the narco boss to live in. Perfect. All right, so I really liked that little roadblock, so I'm actually just going to copy and paste this one. I'm probably going to change out the machine gun, but other than that, I might leave it largely unchanged.
Should use something a little more heavier for emplacements, maybe. So it's a little bit of a higher value target, I guess.
Yeah.
I just want to have an excuse to use a fucking SPG. Or
Alright.
an AT gun, maybe. No, maybe too much.
Let's see. So for the machine gun, we'll do let's do DP-27. They're fun.
Could have that other guy be a PKM, maybe.
And then since these guys aren't at the first objective, we're going to enable dynamic simulation. And this is actually something that we should do with all of our guys, is delete when empty. It deletes the group when the group is empty. This is important because, so I'm going to actually do this for all of the groups that we have in here. Believe it or not, there is a limit to the number of groups that you can have on a given side in Arma. So delete when empty just means that when all four of these guys are dead, group Alpha 2-3 disappears. And then when Action Builder goes to pull a list of available squads, Alpha 2-3 will be back on the menu. Dynamic simulation is going to make it so these guys aren't simulated until players start heading this way, which will save on server resources. We want to do an SPG. That's not a good firing position for one. So by hitting backspace, you can get rid of all of the bullshit and actually just like see. So this isn't a great firing position for an SPG, but let's see where it might be. Do SPGs have depression?
No.
Fuck.
I usually just put them launching down the road.
Yeah, then I guess that they're the cartel. They're not supposed to be military geniuses. We will just find a. We'll just put an SPG next to this. All right, so that will be a nasty surprise for the first squad that comes rolling around that bend. Holy shit, my cat is losing her fucking mind. She found a string. All right, so for this objective, let's place some threats to our helicopter. Which the only thing that's really going to threaten a helicopter is heavy machine guns. It just be like that.
Could put one ZSU on a roof.
I will do that towards the end. Because we're fighting cartels, I don't want it to feel like the cartels have like managed to create an effective no-fly zone anywhere except for their like final base. Especially because with unguided rockets, the helicopter is not going to be able to do shit against them. Let's see, is there anywhere else that really makes sense to have dush guns to protect this place? I think 2 might be good. Let's see.
The tower.
Which tower?
One by the helipad. I think did you put something up there? No.
This one, it doesn't seem like a Dushkum's going to fit.
Oh.
If I put a Dushkum up here, it's going to just like fly off.
Yeah, no, it's gonna flip over.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. Let's fly this helicopter and see if those Dushkums will shoot us down. I have not airproofed these triggers yet. God, that is a fucking monster of a helicopter.
That's why I love it.
It's a little much, you know, in a good way.
I'm tempted to make a Vietnam map where we just have 2 of those only. I know this one and then the stupid Twin 60 gunship that the Marines have.
All right, so yeah, those Dushkums aren't really much of a impediment to this helicopter, are they?
I might need to use the SOG one. Or you can use that really crappy 23 mil AA gun.
Call that the get shot down special. All right, I'm beginning to think this helicopter may be overpowered for what we're going for here.
That's fine. We can switch to the CWR one.
I think I'll use SOG, just use one of the ones with less rockets. Because this is a shitload of rockets per loadout. Well, we did finally get shot.
Oh, the humanity.
Okay. So that's good. That's the kind of thing that you want to do every now and again to make sure that the helicopters that you're like, if we just left those there, this helicopter, let's see, how many rockets is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 48 rockets. That's a lot. So let's look at some of the other SOG stuff. I know that the little Bravos and Charlies are really fun to fly. Do they not have any Bravos with guns on them? I thought that they did. Or is the Charlie the... Oh, the Charlie is the...
I think
Also
giving
the
them the
other one.
Cayuse would be interesting, especially if you're not expecting the helicopter to be the reinsert. If you are, then maybe
Let's
not
see
the
what-
Cayuse.
Let's see, 4 rockets and a grenade and the minigun. How many people can the Cayuse fit in it?
3.
3. There's the Marine.
I mean,
gun.
with just the pilot, I mean, 2 guys at once isn't horrible, and then I could do a oh, it's only 4. Jesus, that really is just a pure.
They're
fucking...
tiny. I mean, they literally are like incredibly tiny little helicopters.
Yeah, but I mean, this the little bird can carry fucking 8, and it's
Right,
the
and the
same.
little bird is power to weight ratio is like exponentially way more than the Cayuse ever had.
Okay, I suppose it's just because it's this. Yeah, just because it's the same airframe.
I mean,
It's
you're
like
dealing with
comparing a fucking 1980s Blackhawk
I
to
mean,
a 2020 Blackhawk.
Exactly.
it's 60s versus 80s tech. 20-year
Yeah.
difference.
Okay,
You
so
could
let's
give
see.
them.
This
You could
is
give 'em the
gunship
little bird.
papers.
Little
Give
bird.
them the little bird. But the little bird with guns doesn't carry anymore.
You can do. There's that Marine gunship.
Oh, the I know what you're talking about. The ugly one.
Yeah.
Oh, the Sea Knight, not the Sea Knight.
The CH-34.
The Seahorse?
The Seahorse.
I love the Seahorse.
Let's see what the Stinger has. Has a shitload of FFARs. Can hold about as many as the gunship could. Let's see.
I meant the heavy gunship. The UH-1 you're quite yeah, heavy gunship.
I think this thing's also going to be overpowered. I don't want to give them an aimable gun that the pilot can use, basically. Okay. Let's...
I mean, they're all M60s on it. It's not really like a big... it's not like a 50.
No, that under chin is a chain gun.
Yeah, but it's underneath that's a co-pilot controls it.
Sure, you could just make them fly it by themselves, and then it's... I think this would be perfect. Twin miniguns. They've got, what is that? 14 rockets per loadout. And can hold almost a squad. Perfect. Try this for now. All right. So let's see. I want to beef up the anti-air defenses at this one a little bit more.
There is a
SOG
AEA gun, the 20 mil, 23, 22, forgot what it's called. It's in the NBA, I think, maybe. Or no, I see it, 14.5 SG3.
I'm going to replace these with the ones that are specifically anti-air. I'm not sure if it'll do anything, but fuck it. These are 50s that were designed to... Oh god, what did I do to that gun? They were at least designed with shooting down SOG helicopters in mind. We can do some 1910s, and these can do double duty as anti-air and a anti-infantry weapon.
That's actually hilarious. What about the 14.5? I feel like it's better on a roof.
Yeah, we want to give this thing some sight lines. Maybe we will put both of the dishkums on the tower, and this guy can have the roof. Cool. And then let's bring in some guys to crew that. Cool. I am getting real tired. This has been about 2 hours worth of work in. So I think we'll continue this another night. Is there any others like mission making stuff that you guys want to go over real quick before I wrap up for this evening?
I might have missed it. Have you shown them how to actually spawn in units, like with trick?
Yes, I did some action builder stuff.
You want to go over the cover map module?
Yeah, sure, I can show you that.
It's a lot easier just to like narrow down your AO. It's a lot easier.
It's just a module that you place down. You adjust the size of it, especially for like you said, this is a huge map. It helps give a good focus to the players to be like, hey, this is where to expect to take contact, or like this is where to expect to be in this op.
Yeah, I always do that with my missions because so you guys don't wander off.
On the other hand, you can also give the players the agency to do that and give them creative pathing to tackle the objectives in their own way. But it's just up.
I do like to leave it a little big, so like I don't really plan on doing anything over here or up here. But like you said, I don't want to bring it all the way down here and say that like, hey, if you can't assault this objective from behind. Like if the players think that the best way to tackle this is to go through the jungle and like breach the back wall and handle it up close and personal, and as opposed to coming across this field, they're probably fucking right. Holy shit. This is gonna be a fucking bitch.
You could add minefields. You could do whatever you want.
I'm really looking forward to working on this objective, because this airfield or this military complex here is going to be fucking excellent to take down.
How did the cartel capture this?
We abandoned it. Budget cuts, you know?
I mean, if it's out in the jungle, a lot, especially in the 80s, a lot of Colombia wasn't under government control. Like, there were, like, whole sections of the country that guerrillas controlled.
There's gorillas in South America? I thought they only lived in Africa. Anything else you guys want to learn about right quick?
Yeah, cover map is the main one. Don't really want to go over like the logistical stuff for resupplying stuff yet, right?
I can touch on it real quick. The big thing is just to pay attention to what you gave the players so that you make sure that you're giving them the same stuff in their boxes. So supply box is the standard one. because it is both pick-upable and airdroppable. There's the like inventory management thing, and honestly, I fucking hate it. But it does do. I'll actually show it to you really quick because it does do some cool stuff that is applicable for. So the really nice thing that this does is,
Yep, search your gun.
oh, we've got the Galil SAR 556, and it shows compatible items, which is pretty fucking useful. Because like uh it makes sure that you like, so specifically it makes sure that you grab the right kind of 762, because it is very common for the 150 round vanilla 762 boxes that are named the exact same thing. Whenever you're using a gun that shoots 762 by 51, you are invariably going to put 762 by 54 in the supply box and vice versa. So we'll do some 35 round Galil mags, and then we had a 249, so pull up the 249. It doesn't matter which one because these are all cup 249s. They all use the same thing, but so we'll click it, go to compatible items, and we are using 556 200 round M249 red tracer every 4. I can't remember whether we used pouches or boxes, but they weigh the same, they work the same, so it really doesn't matter. So we'll put some of those in there.
As Pliskin adds 100 round boxes instead of 200.
Do as I say, not as I do.
It's okay. You also called 556-752 or
what? When did I say that?
don't worry.
No, it mixed up between the boys and they got around in NATO for your weight.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that when you give out a 762, it happens a lot. But
Yeah.
for these ones, I gave out the 150 round boxes because they are good, because for the weight stuff. So that's a huge mission making thing that I think that all mission makers should do. Little soapbox here. When you're picking ammo and guns and equipment, look at the weight ratios. If you have an 100 round box for your 762 gunner and it weighs 4.5 pounds, and you have an 150 round box that weighs 5 pounds, give them the fucking 150 round box. It sucks being a machine gunner because you get like 400 rounds on yourself and you have to have a buddy with you the entire time. So anything you can do to squeeze in some fucking extra ammo for your really heavy people is fucking worth it.
It's also really nice when, especially with like, the M240 Bravo is a heavy weapon, and you're typically only giving that to weapons teams or an HMG. Give them the fucking heavy shit because that's all that they are dealing with. Like they don't need to keep up with a squad necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Another pro tip, which I didn't get into this during the inventory section, but when you give out something like a 240 or a like team sniper, the SST kit for snipers works wonderfully for machine guns too. If you don't know what it does, it basically creates a little platform that you put down, and the gunner can deploy on it. So you're basically creating a standing tripod wherever the gunner wants. It's an excellent fucking thing to put in the machine gun assistant's backpack.
I might need to add that for tomorrow.
Yeah,
Did I
they're
use any
super
other
useful.
guns?
I don't think so.
So we'll save that, close. I'm going to double check everyone to make sure that I didn't use any other guns. We got Galil's, 240. I want to add an optic to that, actually. That was why I chose the 240 Bravo and not just the FN mag.
You want to add the law in there? No.
Yeah, that is also a good thing to add. So,
Or you could be a shitter and not.
Not give him any. They don't really need it anyway.
it really just depends on how much contact you plan on making everybody take. So, we want to make sure that we're grabbing the right one.
Yeah, that one could get a
so
little bit tricky. A3, that one, I think.
yeah, but there's two A3s.
Fuck. Because one
I
of them,
was-
no, one of them's the GM one. It's gonna fuck
I
up.
know, I know. The lighter one is the one you have selected. I believe is the SOG one.
No, this SOG one's a thick boy.
I think the SOG is just the M72 because
I thought SOG had an A3.
No, it has the one. Well, the M72.
Easy way to find this out. Select him and go to his inventory.
Well, no,
is the M72 A3 law the thicker of the two? And yes,
The
the
thicker of the
SOG
two.
one's just the M72
Oh,
because
okay.
in Vietnam we didn't have any. I'm pretty sure that the first iteration on the M72 came about because of the I want to say the defense of May, where the SF guys scored like 20 hits on PT-76s and didn't fucking kill a single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the ones that fired. So the early law sucked ass.
I thought they didn't fire at all.
A lot of them didn't fire, and the ones that hit didn't do anything. So it was just overall not a good fucking siege to be in.
Not a good time.
I feel real bad for the fucking North Vietnamese tankers, though, that were used to being like, haha, these Americans, they can't fucking destroy us. Their rockets suck. And then we deploy the tow out of nowhere on helicopters, and they're like, wait. No.
Big warhead.
God damn it, I can never remember which one's the vanilla one. It doesn't fucking matter. Gonna add some smoke grenades, some frag grenades. I also like doing some like optional shit in these boxes that like might not be stuff that everyone wants. So like I'm not gonna put them in kits, but let's see. We're gonna be doing. I'm gonna have to go through and put it since we have like destroy shit stuff. We're gonna have to go through and give. We'll probably give team leads. Not satchels.
Demo blocks.
Demo blocks. Yeah, but just like to scroll through while I'm like thinking about it and just look for anything that I might want to use. Like one of my favorite things to give out is incendiary grenades. They don't come in handy very often, but I always feel like a badass when I destroy something with one of those instead of using explosives. If you want to, you can combine medical and ammo into one resupply crate.
What are your thoughts on giving ARs spare barrels and canteens?
I've never fucking used one, so I don't bother. Mileage may vary there. Some people swear by them.
I feel like that would depend, like, machine gun to machine gun. Like, an MG3, it makes sense, but for, like, an M249, like, they don't fire fast enough to heat the barrel up.
That also factors into weight factor too, because the spare barrels are actually pretty heavy.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't feel like we get into prolonged engagements often enough that I feel like I need one. I generally would prefer to have the weight because a lot of people don't do good weight management. So like I've noticed a lot lately that I weigh like 80 pounds. If I weigh 80 pounds at mission start, I'm going to start dropping shit.
Those are my missions.
Bad.
They're chunky boys. Girls.
Have I forgotten anything for medical? I think that was everything.
You got morphine and
Morphine, epi,
splint.
fluids, tourniquets, and splints. Yeah.
That's right.
Uh, wire cutters in there. There's the like extending ladders and shit, but we don't really need any of that. So, okay. So once you've selected everything that you plan to give them in there, then,
Whoa. Telescope. The ladders could be useful for climbing those walls, though.
true.
And we rarely use them. Could put them in the vehicles. Like the heavy equipment stuff.
Oh, it's not even in here. Where is the telescoping ladder?
It's a backpack.
That's why we never use it.
Yep.
Okay. So when it comes to how many you're going to get in here, I want to be able to fully resupply a squad. So and then I top off to like the nearest 10. So 800. It was 8 boxes a piece, I think, is what I gave the 249 gunners. So two, and then top up to 20. For the Galil mags, it was 8 is a combat load. So minus the 2 machine gunners, that's 8 times 8 is 64. So that's a bit much. So I'm just going to do 50. And then put 20 tracer mags in for anyone that wants them. These guys, I'm just going to do 10, 1500 rounds is plenty. 5 of those. I want to be able to resupply an entire squad. Same thing here. So like 25, 50, 50, 25. Don't actually need tourniquets because those are reusable. And there you go. You have a resupply crate. Just to make sure that it is still liftable. Always sucks when your resupply boxes are not liftable.
Use the helicopter sling load it. I don't have a need to move them.
Oh wait, are these ones not liftable?
No.
Goddamn. Okay, cool. Well, these aren't liftable in the first place. So what I'll do is just I'll delete this shit here that should be helicopter sling loadable, and I'll put them along there instead, and those will just be for the helicopters to pick up. And then I will include one. Let's go to that real quick. Let's see what the Colombian Army drives around in. $10 says that it's American bullshit. Let's see. They have M113s. They have Brazilian EE11 Urutus. They have M11117s. God, I wish we had 1117s. Those are such a good fucking truck. Humvees. Some Israeli bullshit. They have 4 Nyalas from South Africa. They have their own little MRAPs. Okay, so they're getting Humvees. And because I love TCS, they'll get the fucking cool Humvees. Because I don't love TCS, they won't get the ones with Mark 19s. So let's make sure that these can fit. Okay, so each one of these can fit 7 people, so that's enough for 28 people. 28 plus 2 in the helo is 30. We're not likely to get more than 30, but just in case. And also, it's nice to do a... Oh, holy shit, we have the RG31 Nyala. Why do we have that? Did we buy South African MRAPs? Wild.
Weren't we just using these earlier?
We were literally tonight.
Oh, I wasn't in an MRAP. I had the toe because I like killing things.
So did me and Gomez. We were in the toes.
Anyway, so we will give them we'll give them an MTVR and we'll make it a everything vehicle like we had tonight. So Command can have a little mothership.
So there's a script. Actually, I'll probably talk about in the MM scripts anyway. But trying to make the respawn script work in such a way where it'll automatically set the triple R stuff after it respawns, because once the vehicle respawns, it loses all of its attributes.
Yeah, you can.
What Gomez is talking about is an actual issue with the spawn in vehicle system that we
Hmm.
and that won't apply to this unless Pliskin, you're going to make that a respawn vehicle.
I do not intend to, no.
Then yeah, it won't apply.
No, I meant making the vehicle. Well, Felsky's trying to make it a triple R vehicle. Things like if it blows up.
Oh, is it delete that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
For this one, since I'm not planning on making any of these vehicles respawn, that's fine. If you lose your magical triple R vehicle, you lose your magical triple R vehicle. That's
All right.
that's the shakes on losing your shit.
What's also nice about giving them that MTVR is that if you do have overfill and you can't fit, if like a squad balloons out past 10 or whatever, the leftovers can get stuffed into that MTVR.
Thing that I don't understand, at least with the MTVR, is that sometimes people's heads, or I don't know why their camera gets fucked up and they like get stuck looking at the steering wheel.
I've not heard that one before.
Dumb Name had it. Snake had it.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah,
I don't know.
Is it just with the MTV?
No, the Humvees do it too.
Okay. Then I really don't.
I don't know either.
Only thing that I'm going to change for the vehicles is I'm going to give them 2 laws. But otherwise, I don't think... I guess I'll give them some splodies in these as well. And my favorite thing that is 100% fucking useless. I've never found a way to use one in an op, and I've never seen anyone use one in an op. Where is it? It's got to be an M something. Claymores. Right. So yeah, there we go. Each squad now also has their 240 and 50 cal cut Vs. And yeah, we got a first objective done. We got some AA down. Let's test how effective that 14.5 is, and before I hop off. So Oh yeah, the army did buy 100, like 500, 600 RG-31s. Interesting. I guess now that South Africa is no longer racist at all, we can purchase vehicles from them.
Roger. Standing by. Ready. Ready. Standing by. Waiting. Waiting. Standing by.
Fuck you, James.
Poor James getting left on.
What's your position?
They just had to name everything M6.
Yes.
It's like M1.
Yeah.
Soldier, 100 meters. Front. Sniper, 300 meters.
What's even more awesome is you can load Willie Pete rockets too.
Sniper, 400 meters. Back.
Okay, so this one's still pretty baller, but it at least is tempered by the fact that you only get a few rockets.
This isn't the one that has the nose cannon.
No, it has wing cannons. So if there's no one in the co-pilot seat, they'll just shoot straight forward.
Yeah, just manual fire.
Front position. Enemy spotted. Static weapon, 300 meters. Southeast. Static MG, 75 meters. Front.
Okay, so it's not like going to take us down instantly, but you
Man down.
wouldn't want to do that pass more than once.
Fuck, I killed somebody.
Rifleman, 700 meters. Bearing 345. Rifleman, 800 meters.
Oh, I killed Jack. Not Jack Roberts.
Hostile down. Static MG, 800 meters north. I've got it. Contact. Machine gunner.
This thing should be pretty deadly in the hands of a good pilot.
I've got a visual car, 600 meters southwest.
It'll be best with two people, but it doesn't need two people.
Position. Static MG, 1.5 clicks southwest.
All right. Let's see if our machine guns can take out the 14.5.
Report position. Contact. Rifleman, 300 meters, bearing 3.
Nope. Cool. Pretty happy with this so far. All right. Yeah, we'll probably do this again, like maybe next week. Just think about anything that you want to see, like if there's any like types of objectives that you don't know how to make, or like scripting tricks that you want to ask about. Even if I don't know what they are, especially if you ask ahead of time, I can find out or at least think about it, or we can ask other mission makers their opinion, and we can try to implement it. Thank you guys for showing up. Had fun doing this.
Thank you for running this. It was actually a lot of help.
Yeah, I was kind of stuck on some things. This actually kind of helped out, so.